Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to OKKO Season 2, Episodes 14, and I'm gonna say on, because I was let know by Sigma in the Discord that apparently these next 4 episodes are, like, they were all released together as part of the same set or something, part of, like, this, special thing. I don't know the details behind that. I only know this because he mentioned it in the Discord. So I don't know what that means. He didn't specifically say it was a 4-parter. Just that it was, like, kind of released, like, within the same set. And that could mean I could watch them all separately. That I wouldn't need to watch them all together. But the fact that he did mention they were in the same set also makes it think, like, they're going to have something to do with each other. And I don't know what. Now, I'm saying 14 and on because I'm just going to kind of leave it up to my viewing experience. As I'm watching, if I decide that I feel like I'm good to stop after, like, let's say 2 episodes, then I'll stop after 2 episodes. If I can get through all 4 with no problem and think that it's fine, then I can do all 4. Whatever I feel basically like doing as I'm watching. It'll obviously be at least 2. And at most 4, because I only actually have those 4 downloaded at the moment. But I should probably also mention that we're back with OKKO. Because we had a break from it. We took a little bit of a break, and we finished up Adventure Time Season 6. So now we are back to OKKO. And let me just make sure on something here. I want to see how many episodes are in Season 2. Okay, there's 35. So, if this is episode 14, I don't know if we're going to get through all of the rest without another break. Another, like, burnout avoidance break. I don't know. With this series, it's always kind of hard to tell. If we do need to take another break at any point, we'll just handle that when we get to it, basically. And we'll just do as we do and just put another show in the meantime. And then come right back to OKKO. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't know really what to expect because this series doesn't have a lot of long-running plot threads. It's like there's the stuff with shadowy figure and all of that going on, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is very episodic. There's some things that'll carry over, like Lord Cowboy Daryl being in charge and everything, but it's still very episodic in its nature. That's just the kind of show this tends to be. So I'm not I'm not worried about too much with that. And with expecting too much in terms of overall plot stuff being super heavy here. I think we're just going to get what we're going to get, basically. And we'll see how it goes from there. So, in the meantime, we're just going to get this started and hope for the best. And hopefully we'll be able to get through all of the episodes, so we'll see. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So let's explain what happened there with the episodes at the end. We did 14 through 18 instead of just 14 through 17. So after I finished 17, I wanted to check, without looking up any spoilers or anything, just general wanted to check when this, I wanted to check if this arc did end in the next episode, because if so, I would just quickly download the next episode and finish this little arc. If it took more than one episode, I would have just, left it for next time. So I looked it up, and apparently the episodes on the site I use, Kim Cartoon, are out of order. Because apparently this was not episodes 14 through 18. Technically, these were episodes 16 through 20. I don't know if there's I don't know if this is because of a discrepancy in release order compared to production order or anything like that. I don't know if that's the case, but that was the issue here. And so I found out, there is only one episode, so I decided to do it. But also, looking at how it's handled on Kim Cartoon, that last episode, Final Exams, was 4 episodes after Mystery Sleepover, as listed on Kim Cartoon. There are 3 episodes positioned between it. And again, things are kind of out of order in that regard. And I don't know why this is. Now, mind you, let's see here. I think the dates have something to do with it because, in fact, I think that's what it might be, release date. They were released out of order, I guess, because 16, 17, 18, and 19, which is Wisdom, Strength, and Charisma, Bittersweet Rivals, the Mega Football one, and Mystery Sleepover, all those were released together in July of 2018. But the last episode, Final Exams, was released in May 2019, almost an entire year after. So I'm thinking that the order that is listed on Kim Cartoon is the release order, but not the actual episode order, which makes it really fucking confusing, honestly. And I think that's why there's some issues too, why these were 14 through, as I ended up putting it, 18, instead of 16 through 20. So it's just the actual order that it was released in and the actual order I guess it's supposed to be in are different. And because, like I said, because I did find out that there was only one more episode left in this little Point Prep saga, I did decide to just download it and get to it just to finish out this saga. But if this is how it is, and the on the Kim Cartoon, if that's the release order, if they release this out of order, that's on Cartoon Network. That's an issue. Because that makes no sense. The Final Exams episode is clear, they go together. They are directly connected. Why would you have episodes in between that? Why would you break that up? That's a major story arc. That'd be what would be a great example? It'd be like the Homeworld arc in Steven Universe. If just in the middle of that, out of nowhere, you just had a couple episodes that took place on Earth of the crystal gems, I don't know, looking for some kind of citrine monster. I don't know, I just named a random gem. I like citrine, so. It would be completely out of place, and it would completely destroy the momentum of the already ongoing story arc. And then, like a few weeks later, or in this case, almost a full fucking year later, which, by the way, that's never okay, you finally get resolution to that? That's like, what the fuck? If this is if this is how it went, and I would have to look it up more to actually find out if that's the case, that's really not okay. That's a genuine issue with how this was released and how it's supposed to be. Now, what does this mean for the future reactions? I'm going to try to put these back in order. Normally, I don't look up episode titles because they can spoil things. But I'm going to have to look at the episode titles for all the rest of the episodes of the season, and I'm going to put them in the actual intended order from here on out. Which means if there are episodes that I should have already technically supposed to have gotten to, I'll get to those first, and then I'll get to the rest of them in order that they're supposed to be. So obviously the episode numbers won't technically match up altogether. That's just, it's not going to happen at this point with how it's intended, because again, as I already stated, this was 14 through 18, but it was supposed to be 16 through 20. So the episode numbers for this season are all kinds of fucked up. I hope season 3 doesn't have this issue. But this is something I want to do, because I want to watch these in the order that they're intended to be watched in. Because even though most of it's just going to be episodic, most of it's not going to be an ongoing story arc like these 5 episodes were, I still want to see them in the intended order. So I apologize for any confusion this might cause, or has already caused, to anyone watching this. But that's the reason for the issue. So let's actually talk about the Point Prep saga now. Now that we've gotten the technical aspects of how these reactions have gone and how they're going to go, now that we've gotten all that taken care of, let's actually talk about the saga itself, these 5 episodes. This was really damn good. Like, this was a fantastic story arc that really just, it did a lot of big stuff, as well as setting up things for the future. Mending Enid and Elodie's relationship was something that I have wanted to see since the last time we saw Elodie, let's be honest. It's just something that I feel like we needed to have. Like, I think it's super fucking obvious that they were more than just friends back in the day. Even though, like, all of that happened in middle school, it's like they very much had a thing for each other. And while we know that's not going to get revived, the fact that they are able to be friends again is still great. It shows that even Elodie, as stuck up as she seemed, was never actually bad or anything. She had a lot of pressure to live up to Point's standards, and on top of it, she does strive to be the best. She did let that get to her head and let it get between her and Enid, because it was basically her dream. It's where she feels she belongs, as she said in the last episode here. So I don't at all blame her, but at the same time, it's undeniable that she did take it too far. Now, this arc also really got to introduce us more and showcase more of the point professors and students, some of whom we've seen before. Foxtail is clearly going to be a recurring villain going forward. Like, she's technically a hero, but let's be honest, she's a fucking villain. She is a bad person. That's undeniable at this point. Um, her entire ideology even is super fucked up, as was pointed out. And I know there's going to be some people who probably, when this came out and everything, have tried to defend this kind of ideology, and some people who even now would. The idea that heroes in this case are not created equally, and that they should only focus on the best of the best, and that anyone lesser in their eyes isn't worth the time and shouldn't be a hero. There are some people out there who would not just agree to that, but fight for that idea, saying that accepting any less would be bringing harm to people or hurting the chances of, well, success in the work that is being done. That you need your heroes to be the best if they're going to actively save people and protect the world. But the problem with this ideology is that you put these heroes on such a high pedestal that you're the ones who are keeping the ones that you think are quote unquote lesser from reaching their full potential. This pressure, this absolutely disgusting mindset is what keeps them from truly being the great heroes you don't think they can be. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't think they're good enough, but because you don't think that is what makes them not good enough. It's like, come on. Like was made very clear, all heroes have the God, what is the word? My mind is blanking. All heroes are able to be the best. They all have that within them. They just have to find it. They have to work on it and nurture it and make sure that they can live up to that potential. Potential is the word I was trying to think of. All heroes have the potential to be the best. And they should all be treated as such. To separate them out and treat some heroes as just lesser because you don't think that they have potential is fucked up beyond belief. And in my eyes, there's absolutely no validity to a statement like that. Those kinds of those are basically supremacist statements. The ideas of one group of people being supreme over another, just based on raw talent in this case. And yes, supremacy is not just a racial thing. Supremacy can rear its ugly head in any situation with an us versus them mentality. And that's definitely the case here. Foxtail, really pushes that supremacy in the hero work and believes that anyone who doesn't live up to her standards shouldn't even be a hero. And that's the problem. But also the even bigger problem is that she has the power to make that idea stick. She has the position to really, truly make that a thing. And it's insane. At least Professor Grayman, I guess former Professor Grayman, at least he had some morals and ethics to him, and just basically quits. Like, Foxtail's like, if you can't live up to this. Like, we don't want you anyway. And he's like, fine, I'm out. Good luck finding someone else for the wisdom course. And it's like, good on you. I very much give him massive credit for that. And I hope that he comes into play when we do follow up on this. The entire stuff about chip damage being a robot initially created by Dr. Grayman for good reasons, but eventually ended up being controlled by Foxtail behind the scenes. It's like, that was interesting. And the climax of this arc was pretty interesting with the battle with chip damage. I just wonder what they're going to do now. Are they going to rebuild him? Because Grayman's not there to do that anymore. I mean, maybe they could find someone else, but I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. Now, and when watching, I was wondering, like, when we found out he was a robot, I'm like, okay, did Grayman build him, and is Grayman the evil one? But then it, like, ends up revealing the truth and everything, and it's like, oh no, Grayman's not the evil one. He built him for good reasons, positive reasons, and it's just like, he's been controlled and everything. So there's a lot there that could really be dissected, and yeah. But I also like this little story arc for just, honestly, its importance. This entire stuff with Point and everything, and Point Prep has been brought up in the past. Enid's character really developed wondrously from this. It was just a really genuinely great sense of, progression for this series. This felt like a true, like, standout story arc in a series that is mostly episodic. The stuff with Elodie, the stuff with Chip, the Secret Society, Foxtail, everything just kind of worked together to create this grand 5-episode story arc that worked excellently. And I genuinely love it. It really, it was written well. All the characters were handled well. My only issue, I do have one. My only issue is, I feel like Rad and KO shouldn't have been put into it. Their inclusion into it in the later half of the arc, basically from Mega Football on, was honestly, I feel not needed, but also I feel it would have been better without them. I get why they were there, and part of the reason, let's be honest, is because KO is the main character, and Rad was put in just to have the trio be together again. Let's be honest, that's at least part of the reason. But the problem is, this was a very Enid-centric story arc, and I feel like by forcing KO and Rad to be in it as well, instead of just having it be Enid, it took a little something away from her, from what could have been. I would think it actually would have been more impactful had, in the end, Enid come to all these conclusions and figured everything out on her own, without needing the help of KO and Rad. And that she decided to go back, not because they were there, but because of her own reasons. And yeah, part of that being that she missed them. I think that would have been more, honestly, genuine and believable. The fact that KO and Rad were in here, it felt like they kind of influenced how the second half of this story arc went. And I just feel like that took away some of the agency from Enid as a character in this story arc. It's her story arc. Let her have it. Let it be hers. We don't always need every single character in every single episode. We can have a story arc that features only one of our main trio. That is possible, believe it or not. That is my only issue here with this with the saga, with the Point Prep saga. It doesn't ruin the episodes or anything. Like I don't think it like completely destroys the quality of them, but it does lessen them to at least a small degree. I just feel it would have been better if it was just Enid and Elodie, of course. But like no KO, no Rad. Like even if you wanted to showcase what they were doing back at the plaza in like one or two cutaways, that would be fine. But having them actually be there and influencing how things are going, I didn't like that. That's my only issue, though, and everything else was great, and overall it was great. So I once again apologize for the confusion with the episodes, and again, from here on out, we are going to be watching them in the intended order, which means I unfortunately will have to look at the episodes when I download them, but I'm not going to put the episode titles in there, in the downloaded files on my computer. I'm just going to put like episode in this starting from here on 19 and 20 and so on. So I'll probably forget the episode titles by the time I get to most of them. So hopefully that's the case. I need to know them to know the order, basically. Which sucks, but I have to do it because I honestly at this point I don't trust how it's sorted out on there. I don't trust, I guess, the release order. So I do apologize for that confusion, but I hope you understand how we're doing things moving forward. And for now, thank you so much for tuning in. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of the Point Prep saga, these 5 episodes. And thank you so much, once again, for continuing to support the channel. And yeah, welcome back to OKKO. What a way to come back, right? For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.